that Ozempic thing is going to change the composition of our bodies a lot. That's going to be crazy. Do you think Ozempic will bring healthcare costs down overall over time? I think Ozempic will probably make the entire world, or the entire Western world, a way, 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 way better place. Yeah, holy shit. The amount of money that we spend, the amount of health complications relating to obesity, it's probably like the single biggest, next to like vaccines or something, assuming there aren't catastrophic side effects or something that we're missing. Yeah, it's probably going to be one of the biggest medical breakthroughs or advancements that we've had. I think it's strictly insecure people who Ozempic. They want the credit for the work they put in over the health of their community. Well, the thing is, people will moralize your body a lot, because I'll say that like the way that you treat your body and the things that you do for your body are like evidence of, moral character. And they're not totally wrong to some extent, right? That working out and eating healthy requires some level of discipline and everything, for sure. And if you shortcut that with a medication, that it's not like as morally righteous or whatever. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your health. If you can be healthier by taking a pill, then be healthier by taking a pill. How widespread is Ozempic right now? Do you think basically anyone who's overweight will take it in the future? I think it's getting very widespread. I'm hearing a lot of commercials on the radio for it, and it feels like almost every celebrity now is basically taking it. I think it'll become very, very, very widespread in the future. Yeah. This is the thing that we've been waiting for, right? Is the miracle weight loss drug. Like, this is it, If you take it and eat horribly, will you still lose weight? Yep. I think its common form is called Wegovy. Ozempic solves weight issues, but people's diets will still be horrible, right? We'll have less obesity, but still a lot of heart disease, I would think. We'll have heart disease, but the problem is that being obese, period, is just bad for you. Like, even if all else the same, even if you eat a shitty diet, even if you do everything else, just being obese is bad for you. So if you eat the same shit diet, but you're just not obese, you're in a way better position than somebody that is obese. It's just really, being obese is really, really, really bad. Have you done any reading with how it works? I have no clue. What is it? It's like a GP1 agonist or whatever that works against is it the receptor that signals for hunger? I think, I don't know, something like that. It will be a miracle if that isn't pulled from the market in 2 years like every other miracle weight loss drug. Ozempic? I don't think there's ever been another drug on the market that's like Ozempic. Or whatever the pharmaceutical, whatever thing is called. I feel like the only thing holding Ozempic back is the increased risk of lymphoid cancer. Still, it outweighs the negatives of obesity. Yeah, but my guess is even if it increases lymphoid cancer, all of the other health impacts, like even if it was a significant increase in a type of cancer, I bet all-cause mortality would decrease enough that it would easily outweigh any other thing. That'd be my guess. What's the one bodybuilders used to use? I don't think bodybuilders I don't think I had to use things to lose weight. Are you talking about, I feel like that would be a different thing. Do you think that Ozempic is a bit of a cop-out? In my opinion, I feel like if you're fat, you are still going to keep shitty habits, probably still eat poorly. I know it's positive because they will be healthier, but if you stop taking, won't you just get fat again from no exercise? Yeah, probably. But I mean, it's a hospital. All they can do is prescribe you medication. If they can prescribe you medication to make you less fat, then they'll prescribe you medication and you'll be less fat and you'll be healthier for it. You won't be as healthy as if you had better eating habits and a exercise regimen and everything else, but you'll still be healthier. Just like when you prescribe medication for lowering somebody's blood pressure, right? Is the best way to lower your blood pressure through medication? Well, no, the best way would probably be through good diet, good exercise, healthy sleep, and naturally bringing your body more in alignment with where it should be. But if you can lower somebody's blood pressure with medication, then you do it and they're healthier for it. It's not ideal, but it's better than nothing, right? If you have diabetes, you're already just die so I can be skinny, no tears. I think this is a 25% conviction belief. I think you can reverse diabetes. I think if you lose weight and you significantly change your eating habits, I believe that's possible. I believe that's possible. For type 2. For type 1, just kill yourself in a video game. How does type 1 even exist then? Type 1 is a punishment from God to smite the unholies. Diabetes has to do with your body's inability to use insulin to regulate your blood sugar. Type 1 diabetic. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune disease, meaning your immune system is eating your pancreas, and your pancreas has, I think they're beta cells that produce insulin, and your body kills those, so your body doesn't make insulin naturally, or it makes a severely reduced rate, and then your blood sugar is high, and high blood sugar just kills you over time. So type 1 diabetes is autoimmune. You can't do much for it. Except maybe you get AIDS. Maybe that makes it go away because your immune system gets killed. I don't know. Type 2 diabetes is just your body has made so much insulin because it's got to shove so much blood sugar into your fat cells that eventually your cells get so tired of insulin, sending those midnight texts saying, hey, what you doing? That your cells start to ignore it. So your body has to make more and more and more and more insulin. And then eventually your cells stop caring. And then you have to use exogenous insulin. You need to pump even more. And your cells just care less and less over time. So I think type 2 diabetes is characterized by insulin resistance. Type 1 diabetes is characterized by an autoimmune disease that attacks your pancreas. There's a type 3 diabetes too, but I don't remember what that is. Or maybe that's what people theorize Alzheimer's disease is. I don't remember. But Destiny is habitually irresponsible with his statements. Just look it up. You're not an armchair expert. These are all things I've looked up before. DAO in YouTube chat. If you think I'm saying anything wrong, you're literally participating in the stream right now. Type it and say it, and we'll click it, and we'll look it. We're literally watching Do a Doctor talk about this right now. What do you think I just said that was incorrect? Feel free to throw it in chat, buddy. You said you can still eat shit and still lose weight? Yes, because weight is just a factor of how many calories you take in versus how much you burn. If you eat like shit, it's harder to eat less calories because usually that food is less satiating, so you usually eat more, but you can eat like shit and still lose weight. Your body doesn't punish you for eating unhealthy food by making you fatter. It's just a function of how much energy you take in versus how much energy you burn. Somebody said, we've talked about this before. I don't know, maybe thinks he hasn't, but I guess we'll say it again. Somebody said, lean muscle mass loss is often misunderstood data. Water equals lean mass. Anytime you decrease calories, you'll begin to hold less glycogen and less water as a result. Yes, when you begin dieting, the reason why you lose a ton of weight in the first week, you might lose 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 pounds, depending on how fat you are in the very first week. The reason why is because you're burning through your glycogen stores, and glycogen, I think, is it's carbs plus water, I think. There's a lot of water associated with your glycogen reserves. And when you burn through those by dieting incredibly quickly, you'll lose a lot of weight incredibly quickly, but you haven't burned through actual fat. That's why when you start dieting in the first week, you'll lose a ton of weight, and then you'll either stall, or as your glycogen reserves become more adapted to your new diet, you'll increase weight a little bit, and then your weight loss seems incredibly stalled or slower, and then you get demotivated because for some reason it's not going as well as it did in your first week. The very first week of weight loss, it's your glycogen reserves that are hardcore adjusting, and it's all the water that you're losing as a result of burning through those and not replenishing them by eating the same amount of bullshit you were before. Yes, true. Now weight loss equals bad. Well, yes, technically, if you really think about your human body, yes, weight loss is, if you think about it, if you believe in evolution, weight loss is probably one of the worst things that can ever happen to your body, because it means that you're probably in some period of severe caloric restriction, right? Your body is designed to hold on to as much weight as it can, as viciously as possible. That's why losing weight is so difficult. Why would your body want to lose weight when energy and access to energy is probably one of the most defining characteristics of a species, your ability to hunt and eat food and stay healthy and reproduce and all that. So yeah, weight loss tends to be pretty hard. It'll have a lot of weird impacts, especially if you do it incredibly quickly, right? Unless you're obese like most people, body doesn't recognize obesity. Obesity is not a thing that the human body recognizes, because chances are more than 10,000 years ago, people weren't obese. How are you going to get obese? You wouldn't be able to hunt or do anything. Your body just wants calories and it grabs onto it and then holds onto it. That's it. Your body doesn't, if you're fat, whatever, it'll keep holding on to calories. It's not like your body wants to lose weight if you weigh 400 pounds. Taking Ozempic and not changing your lifestyle or eating patterns is like taking steroids and not lifting. Not to be mean and not to take away from anybody's progress or whatever, but if you take steroids and you don't lift, chances are you will probably gain more lean muscle mass than a person who is legitimately lifting. So it's not even a good comparison. It's not necessarily the healthiest thing to do, and there are a bunch of downstream side effects from injecting yourself with steroids, however you do it, but not lifting and roiding the up will probably gain you more lean muscle mass, at least in the beginning, than a person who's even legitimately lifting. So have you looked into the Tuskegee trials? People aren't skeptical about Big Pharma for no reason. How many people do you think were impacted by that? Have you looked into cars that lied on safety evaluations? Do you not trust any cars ever? Or have you looked at there are so many industries where there have been bad actors. It doesn't mean that you suddenly distrust the entire fucking industry. What mechanism would increase muscle mass without resistance training or hypertrophy, even on steroids? Please enlighten me. You could just Google it if you want to know on your own, but you do realize that all the muscle that you have in your body doesn't just come from resistance training or hypertrophy, right? That there are men that carry naturally higher amounts of muscle on their body for a lot of different reasons than other men, and it's not just related to how much exercise they do. If you have more testosterone in your body, you can naturally carry more muscle mass on your body. It's part of what steroids does. If you don't like it, go fucking Google it. We're not going to sit here, and especially with you being a passive-aggressive cockbag. This isn't even a super debated thing. Go watch Dr. Mike, not this one, the other one, Mike Isertel, okay? Do you think that larger people on average carry more muscle along with fat, obviously, than a 140-pound dude that doesn't work out? Yeah, different types of muscle, sure. Like a fatter person isn't necessarily going to be able to bench a whole lot more, but they can probably squat a lot more because they're using their legs more to carry themselves around. But like you should think of when you think about muscle, when you think about strength, you should think about it proportionally to how much you weigh or the body that you have, right? Like a guy who's 300 pounds that can bench 200 pounds is a lot less impressive than a person who weighs 120 pounds that can bench, 175. You should consider strength to be like a function of your body weight as well. Yeah. Why is the burden on me? I said, you don't need an expert. Just look up the info instead of asking Destiny for advice on anything. Destiny's only an expert in streaming and yapping. Then why even watch a stream ever? Just go Google a bunch of stuff and look it up. Don't watch me for anything. Okay.